You're watching TelecomTV from the SDN World Congress event in The Hague. And I'm joined now by Sandra Rivera of Intel and Charles Stucki of Cisco. Sandra is Vice President in the Data Center Group and General Manager of the Network Platforms Group at Intel. And Charles is Vice President and General Manager NFV BU of the Service Provider Business Group at Cisco. Charles, good to see you for the first time, and Sandra, thanks for joining us again on TelecomTV. Now, we're going to be talking about the move by service providers towards SDN and NFV and the resulting transformation of their businesses. And Charles, if I could start by asking you, what is Cisco's assessment of the state of network transformation within the leading service provider networks?
Yeah, I would say the transformation is definitely underway. It's on and they're not going back. So what you see is the large providers have multiple successes. They've taken accountability for how they're going to deploy their architecture, and they have real proof points of the benefits both on cost savings and on speed to market. So you can see this transformation is no longer an idea and a concept. This is what is happening.
So what would you say are the key drivers for service providers to implement both SDN and NFV?
For sure, the biggest driver of all, by the way, we see this in developing software, is automation, which is that they can not only do things with less labor and faster, but also with higher fidelity. Then that frees them up to put their creativity into creating flexibility of offers, to creating new offers. So it really is underpinned by automation.
And Sandra, how do you see this market evolving?
Well, we've spent a number of years, as you know, on a lot of the technical feasibility work to prove that it can be done. You can move those network functions and run on general purpose server technology, take advantage of virtualization pooling capabilities and also cloud technologies and cloud business models. But much of that work is behind us in terms of asking the question, can this be done? And at this point, a lot of the focus and efforts are on operationalization, and particularly needed if you're going to ramp at scale. So much of the focus in our engagements with the service providers as well as with our ecosystem partners is on those issues of integration and interoperability and optimization of the underlying infrastructure, as well as the virtualized network functions that will run on top of them from multiple vendors, really all coexisting in one physical substrate, one physical infrastructure, and be able to provide the types of service levels and security and reliability that that is expected of the service provider community.
And Charles, what would you say are the key benefits that your customers have achieved by using SDN and NFV?
Well, you can definitely see it. We've released some case studies recently where we see people getting on the order of 75–85% reduction in the amount of labor and reducing time to deliver anything. Could be to provision a new service to an end customer, but a lot of it is to basically make a change to the network, add a new network, integrate a company they buy, to take those down from many, many days, sometimes months, into things that they can do in software, sometimes with configuration. The other big benefit is that they are becoming software companies themselves. And one of the key things they do with this technology is, as they master it, they have to be able to recruit more software talent. And what I see, those who are succeeding, it has a feedback loop that they then can attract more talent themselves to accelerate their transformation.
And Sandra, what is Intel and Cisco doing together? How are you collaborating? What is the purpose of the partnership?
Well, we're very focused on the switch and router portfolio of the virtualized network functions. And much of the work that we're doing is ensuring that the Cisco NFV infrastructure is optimized, utilizing many of the hardware and software innovations that we have in the underlying silicon and software capabilities that we provide. Elements that give you high levels of security and trusted boot environments. Elements that give you an ability to prioritize the workloads and the applications depending upon the relative importance or the criticality of that particular workload. So to be able to have the system resources, whether it's memory or cache, allocated to some of those critical workloads running on that physical infrastructure, are, again, advantages that we provide to our partners, and Cisco takes those full capabilities and puts them in offerings to the market. So we start there in terms of optimizing the Cisco VNFs running on the Cisco NFV infrastructure, but of course we're also working together to expand the tent and to onboard VNFs from other solution providers and other ISVs that can be hosted on the NFV infrastructure that Cisco provides, and then through the Cisco VNF Manager being able to, again, orchestrate it, all of those different capabilities in the platform. So it's a lot of optimization work, it's a lot of integration work, but ultimately trying to accelerate the path to market.
And Charles, what would you say are the key objectives of the partnership, and ultimately, what's the value to service providers?
Yeah, for sure. What we focus on really here, and Sandra really highlighted, is we want to understand better how to make all of the technologies work. So Cisco, as our CEO says, is transforming to become a software and services company, especially a software company. So we want to know what makes a VNF really perform, and as we rewrite and re-architect them to take advantage of cloud technologies, we want to learn from the experience of deploying them. But that's true in the orchestration, multi-vendor orchestration, and it being open. How do you onboard third parties? All of our service providers expect a multi-vendor open system. So we're learning how to best support that in the orchestration, and then we learn together how to make the infrastructure perform. It could be optimizing OpenStack. Red Hat's our partner there. It's definitely optimizations. We learn a whole bunch from each other on how to make the VNF and the OpenStack and the infrastructure perform well as a system, and our service providers then benefit from that knowledge. It comes from our minds, but also it's baked into our products.
Great. Well, Charles and Sandra, thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.